So today I'm filming at a rodeo. It's just a quick little job for social media. I'll be here a few hours, and then tomorrow I have to drive over to Browning for my third powwow for the powwow project that I'm working on this summer. It'll be the third of like 7 or 8 powwows that I have to go to. But tonight I'll be filming at this rodeo just near my hometown here, just 15-20 miles down the road. So I'll take you along, give you a little behind the scenes look of what my work will look like tonight here at the rodeo. So I just went and got my media pass. Now I have to make a decision because I'm here by myself. What cameras am I gonna use? I brought all 3 of my cameras just in case. I got my FX6, my FX30, which I don't think I'll use. I've been using it a lot for kind of this series that I've been working on for Windfall. Because it's social media, it's all vertical video. So I've been using my FX30 a lot with the gimbal in vertical mode. But I feel like with this project, because it's outdoors, I don't know how close I can get to the action during the rodeo, that the FX6 or the NX800 probably makes more sense. Then the question also becomes, do I put it on sticks? Do I carry, my tripod around with me everywhere I go? I'm by myself. There's gonna be times where I need to take it off of the tripod. Now I'm gonna go around, I'm about an hour early, so I'm gonna go around with the FX6 and just gather some shots of the arena. I saw some horses and stuff over there that I might get some shots of. And hopefully that'll give me a little bit of an idea of how I might operate tonight. These guys look mean. One of the upsides of filming events like this is that they're pretty straightforward, compared to something like an interview or something where you're working with talent. With these events, you pretty much just capture the action and the atmosphere of whatever's taking place. And also once the event is over, then you're done as well. There's not the time to tear down equipment, lights and stuff like that. You're pretty much done. But on the other hand, the difficult thing about filming events like this is you're standing in front of hundreds of people, with this fancy camera that you have in your hand. Generally, I don't mind. Most of the time, I'm focused on the job at hand. I don't really think about stuff like that. Especially if it's in front of a bunch of strangers, then, it's no big deal. But I will admit, it can be a little awkward though when you're filming in front of people that you know, or worse, only kind of know. I would much rather film in front of a bunch of strangers than in front of a bunch of acquaintances or people that might only know me by name. And I've actually said this before, that's one of the tough things about living in a small town, is you're a lot less anonymous than people that are from or live in a big city. So filming at events like this that are close to my hometown, filled with people that I do know, some that I kind of know, other people I might only know their name but never met them, things like that. That's, it can be a little bit awkward when you do that. And that's why I'm wearing my hat here in these shots, to try and hide my identity a little bit. Lately, for a lot of the work that I've been doing for Windfall, it's mostly been social media content. So I've been filming with my FX30 and I've been using my RS3 Pro, and I had the vertical mount for it, and then that way I'm just shooting like that. For this project, it didn't make sense for me to put it on a gimbal or to use my FX30. I decided to use the FX6 with the 70 to 200. I'm just using my Ninja V here and putting on the little filter that shows, you know, where it would be cropped for a 9:16 aspect ratio.
And there, if you would, at this time, gentlemen, men's traditional dancers. And again, we'd like to thank these gentlemen for coming.
There was another guy filming at the rodeo too while I was there. I wanted to go talk to him, see what he was doing, but I didn't get the chance to. Someone had mentioned that he was shooting a documentary for, I don't know, something PRCA maybe. I can't remember what it was. They said it was a documentary though. Once the rodeo started, I made my way over to the opposite side of the arena, and I stationed myself directly across from the chutes there. It gave me a pretty good angle for the bronc riding stuff. I tried to get a mix of 24 and 120 frames per second stuff. I was thinking not only does the 120 stuff just look cool, but you could do a neat little speed ramp with it too when you're editing, and I think that particularly would look epic for like some bronc riding shots. You know, one of the difficult things about working solo is sometimes you need to be in two places at once, or at least it would be helpful if you could be. You know, that's one thing I'm jealous of Jordan and Logan about, is they can split up. You know, oftentimes Logan, he'll be doing the drone shots while Jordan will be taking photos in the arena when we're at the powwow, so they're able to split. You know, I wish I had sometimes I wish I had another person. You know, a lot of the jobs that I'm working, I'm starting to really see the value in it being a multi-person production, just because you can divide and conquer. And you know, so there are limitations, or you know, especially from like a client perspective, you know, you'll get a lot better product if you have two people on site, two people working the job. But if you have two people working the job, you're gonna pay more. So that's kind of the give and take that you have with, you know, I think that's something that we need to do a better job of educating clients on. Like a two-person job is going to look a lot more polished than a one-person job would. Or you'll be able to work more efficiently, which in the end gets you a better final product. So while I was shooting this, in the back of my mind, I kept thinking I need to figure out a time where I can sneak away and grab some aerial shots with the drone. You know, I was lucky here that this is in the, you know, I'm lucky here that this is in the middle of the summer, so golden hour lasts a little bit longer. I also lucked out in that the light was hitting just right during the bronc riding portion. So not only was I able to grab some great shots, but the lighting was pretty killer as well. So I decided to grab a variety of shots before I split to go do some drone shots. I think I had enough on hand that, you know, it would allow me to sneak away for about 10 or 15 minutes to get some aerial shots that the client can use to sort of establish where we're at. I got some drone shots, and then before the rodeo started, I got a few other, you know, just shots of the arena and some of the vendors that were around, things like that. And then once I finished with the drone shots, made my way back towards the arena. It was getting dark by this point, and they had a few other events that were going on. I made sure to stick around for the wild horse race, you know, which that was pretty chaotic. I got a few good shots there, but and then once that was finished, then the rodeo was pretty much over. I just wrapped up filming at the rodeo. I only used my FX6, didn't bother bringing out the NX800.
I used my 35 mil lens on it for a little while. Mostly used the 70-200. Got some really good shots. Got some good slow-mo 120 shots of some bucking horses. So I think the footage is really great. Got a few drone shots. Feel confident, feel good about what I'm going to hand off to the client. So overall, it was a good evening.
Before I close out this vlog, I want to share a couple of the things that I've worked on. So I randomly came across this on Facebook. This was the stuff that I filmed a couple vlogs back. I think it was in vlog 22, where I was doing the 50-mile garage sale stuff, and my wife and daughter came with me. They're featured in it. Randomly came across it. It's always nice to, I guess, see your work out in the wild. And then this is another one that they shared. This was a couple months ago. This one was also from vlog. I don't remember what number it was, but when I went to the hot springs back in February, they shared the footage that I shot there for them too. So it'll be interesting when this rodeo one comes out too. I'll be sure to share it. I know I don't do a great job of sharing the stuff that gets posted, the stuff that I don't work on. So I'm gonna try and do a better job of finding it and sharing it here on the vlogs. And that's all I have for this one. I thank you for checking it out, and I will for sure see you in the next one. Bye.